Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's Hooking Up and Tracking Down, 11:30 The Tiger. Gary McCoy, the Ranger Pro Staffer, Iowa Rods Pro Staffer, Steve Graff. We got the old Mud Hen Water Bug. Mike Eccles in the studio. And we've got a special guest today. Y'all be nice.
Yeah, we got to be on best behavior today.
Donnie Carmichael's here from Lazy Man Deer Stands. Wait a minute. Donnie, you don't have virgin ears, do you? Because Eccles can take it all the way to the other side.
Yeah, you be educated today.
Yeah. My preacher gets offended.
Does he really?
No, he doesn't get offended. He doesn't listen. But we got a great show lined up for today. Speaking of my preacher, another one of the members of our congregation, actually two members of our congregation, Max Sharp and Lynn Beatty, along with a couple of other guys, Dennis Branton, and I don't remember who else is involved with that, have got a brand new outdoors show that's coming up on the Sportsman's Channel in January. It's called Old School Outdoors. And we're going to have Max on to give us a little bit of foresight as to, what we can expect from that show. From what Lynn Beatty was telling me, however it happened, that's how it's going to be on TV.
Sort of like our radio show.
Exactly. Reality TV, in other words. It's reality hunting show.
There's no rub that out, do-overs. If somebody falls out of the deer stand, that's it. It just went down that way. If somebody opens up the stand and there's a wasp nest in there, that's how it went down.
I think I would enjoy that.
Sure you would.
Because I sit and watch these hunting shows now, and you have so many of what I call one-liners. Mm-hmm. They film in the field.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they sit in a studio.
Yeah.
And about all they can do is one sentence or two sentences.
Yeah.
And then it cuts away.
Sure.
And it's all rehearsed.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, if you can't speak well enough, if you ain't got good enough speaking skills to talk in the field, you shouldn't have a TV show.
Yeah, a lot of them are narrated.
Narrated?
A lot of them are
narrators.
A lot of them are narrated.
Thank you.
Scripted.
After they've done the hunting.
This one is obviously not.
Yeah, obviously not. They come in studio and then they actually dub over, the video part, and I'm like, it's just, I don't know. But the outdoorsman, American Outdoorsman used to be like that.
Yeah.
With Kurt Gallagher.
Well, can you imagine, like Homer Circle? Can you imagine, God love him, if it came out just the way Homer Circle said it?
Yeah.
You couldn't understand it.
Oh, no, you're exactly right. He had to go back and edit some of this stuff. Oh,
hey,
real quick. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Larry Nixon.
Oh, really?
Today, happy birthday, Larry Nixon. Shelley Sanders.
Woo-woo.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I knew I'd get Mike
Shelley's.
excited.
Who is that?
You communist.
Well, I'm sorry.
Shelley
You don't
Sanders,
remember
Major
Shelley?
League
Oh,
Fishing.
Shelley, I apologize if you're listening, please.
Who is Shelley Sanders? Honestly.
The co-host
of Major League Fishing.
Bass Fishing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had her on. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
If you'd ever had her on, you wouldn't have forgot her.
See, that's what we're talking about right there.
She was the one that got away.
That's what we got to deal with every week.
He makes his own face red.
And you got to read between the lines. But anyway, and also my good buddy Bubba Sneed from Jonesboro Hodge. He's a big outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman, good friend of mine. He has a birthday today. But Shelley Sanders, Larry Nixon, and Bubba Sneed, happy birthday.
This segment brought to you by Bayou Outdoors Super Center, Mustang Survival, Iowa Rods and Reels, and, of course, BioBore Fuel Treatment. And, again, Donnie Carmichael from Lazy Man Deer Stands here in the studio. Man, you're loaded up, dude. You've got – how many stands have you got out there on that? 20. He was just here at the Sportsman's Expo. He's made 20. Yeah. I think he signed up like 147 dealers all across the world while he was here. They're going to be selling his deer stands in downtown Afghanistan.
Yeah. He'll have 17 when he leaves here, though.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. He's only going to have 17.
Hey, I know that.
And I'm leaving probably this evening to go down to the lease and put mine up.
Yeah. So, and then next week we're going to give a report how easy it was to put this stand together.
Now, next Thursday he'll be going down there trying to figure out how to get the walls out of it, huh? Because you'll leave the windows open. I promise you'll forget.
No, I won't.
Okay.
I won't.
All right.
No, I'm taking a claw hammer and a crescent wrench. Do I need anything else? All right.
But and by
Bag
the way,
of 16 penny nails.
Those of you that don't know, Donnie is now one of our newest sponsors. Lazy Man Stands out of Arkansas, at Cabot, Arkansas, is one of our newest sponsors, and we want to welcome him aboard. And again, speaking of sponsors, Mr. Twister.
Yeah, buddy.
Guys, even though hunting season is here,
right?
People are still fishing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm fishing. So I'm
you
still
got a
fishing.
tournament coming up, don't
I got a big tournament coming up in October, and one of these baits, matter of fact, both of these baits could come into play for me. I really have enjoyed and liked the new sensation, the Magnum sensation. That is such a versatile bait.
I like that, flipping out.
I've been swimming it on the river and catching fish on it. I really like that bait. And, of course, the flip out, which is very similar to those of you who don't know what a flip out is. The sweet beaver. Flipping out.
At least they know how to say it.
Yeah.
He's a narrator.
The sweet beaver type bait, creature type bait as they want to call it.
Isn't that what you got in your live well? Keep fish alive?
Narrator. Okay. All right, y'all going to make me cuss here in a minute.
I doubt it.
All right, real quick, though, we want to highlight these two baits. The flipping out is if it's a soft plastic bait, of course, it's sturdy, compact, ribbed, solid body with a paddle appendages. It's just great for maximum water displacement. And again, it falls in that creature bait category. This is a very popular bait on Red River, and it catches a lot of fish on Red River.
Do you leave the pinchers hooked up, or do you separate them?
I separate mine.
Do you?
I like the action. I like to create as much action as I can with that bait. I guess if you're wanting a more subtle approach, you would leave them connected.
If you were going to the river right now, what color?
For me, it's black neon. I mean, I throw that. Black and blue, I throw a lot. Dark colors seem to work better for me on Red River.
Okay.
So, but that's just me.
And the big plus on that, which I've fished a million of them, the beaver, is one fish, two fish on the beaver, 4 or 5 on this.
Oh, yeah.
And another thing I like about this bait, it's not as thick.
Right.
Okay, I use a special hook for the beaver. I really do. I use a special hook for that bait. This bait, I can use a normal 3/0 or even a 4/0 Gamakatsu hook, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
How is it when you're actually hooking it up on a jig? If you're trailing a jig with that, does it hold together pretty good that way?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you're really staying exposed at that point.
If you want to create a compact type jig, this is a great bait to do that with.
Cool.
And I like this. It's quality bait, and our hats off.
And if you're on a diet, you fish the unsweet beaver, but that's okay.
All right, the next one is the Magnum Sensation. Mike brought a few of those into us. I think we took some of those over to Fork. We didn't actually use them at Fork because we got so hooked on live brim.
Yeah. Dude, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat Mother Nature.
I'm telling you, but I'd love to take this bait back over there. And one day I'm going to go back over there with Johnny. Johnny and I are going to go up to, I think, Lake Gilmer. I think he called it. We're going to do some fishing up there one day just on our own. And this is one of the baits I'm going to take with me. The Sensation, the Magnum Sensation, it's a worm / creature bait kind of rolled into one. It's 5-inch bait, and it can be used as a swim bait. It can be used as a Texas rig. It can be used on a Carolina rig. It can be used on a drop shot. It's just got so many different variations and ways you can use it. You can apply it that it's just such a versatile bait. And again, if you haven't tried it, you got to get your hands on some of these because it's just a great product and a great bait.
Can also be used on the umbrella rig.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah. And it's getting that time of year that umbrella rig can come in handy, especially in the fall.
Do you mostly swim that?
I'm taking it on a 1/4 ounce jig head and just swimming it through the grass, lily pads. Oh, it's got so much action to it. That big auger tail is just that ribbon tail really comes through the water. It comes through the water really well. Comes through vegetation really well. I've been impressed with it.
You catch many at Heartland on that, Mike?
Yes.
Really?
Matter of fact, that has actually taken the place of the bee hog, the brush hog type bait.
Yeah.
Because you never know from minute to minute whether you need to be letting a bait drop or swimming it.
Right.
And you can do both with that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those deals you can do about 4 applications with the same bait.
Yeah.
And never have to pick up another rod.
See, that helps small-minded people like me. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
And it's all a part of the new series of pocket baits, pocket series of baits that Mr. Twister's come out with. It's got the little air pockets in it, so bubbles actually come out of the bait after you throw it in the water.
Gotcha.
It's part of that pocket chain. It's got the pocket chambers built into the bait.
Okay, where am I going to buy Mr. Twister nowadays?
Let's see. Well, David's carried them over at Bayou Outdoor Super Center. Kirk Carver's got them at Toledo Town and Tackle. John Abraham's got them at Cypress Knee Outdoors. So any one of those 3 locations.
Hey, why don't we give Daryl Lawrence's cell phone number out? And if you're having a hard time finding them there, then we can just have people call that because Daryl loves to get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'll let you give that number.
Okay.
Go ahead. I don't think Daryl would want
Tricia,
that.
his wife, boy, she just gets all excited. I wanted to tell you where you could find those in Lake Charles.
Get that 1 o'clock in the morning phone call.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, thank you, Daryl, for great products. Number one, this is probably, in my opinion, this has been one of the best years for Mr. Twister that's come out with new product in a while. They've really done their homework on some of these baits, and they've introduced some really quality baits this year.
Okay.
We're going to give tickets away today?
Yes, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, we got to get the list.
We promised last week. It's right there on the website. I mean, it's real easy to find out.
Okay.
We promised last week that if you would share, and we'll give you a few more minutes to do that. If you would share the post that we had about Phil and Alan Robertson up there on your Facebook page from ours, that we would go through all those names, and today we would announce a winner, and actually 2 winners, right?
2 winners. We're giving away 2 pair of tickets.
Yeah, for the outdoor extravaganza this Saturday at the CenturyLink Center.
Doors open at 5. Show starts at 6, and we're going to give away 2 sets of tickets, and they're going to be center stage almost on the floor within the first 4 rows.
And we're talking $70,000 in door prizes they're giving away that evening.
3 ATVs,
dude.
a 4-wheeler, and 2 side-by-sides as door prize drawing, along with a lot of other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So,
what'd you do wrong?
I have No, I'm 100%. Okay. I thought it was 0.
Steve, you're just old. God love you.
It said 0, and then it went
still
to
on
100.
Do we have a winner in the Ram Slam yet?
No, we have the finals this Sunday, the 7th.
Okay.
We will draw Saturday afternoon right before we go to the outdoor extravaganza.
Right.
We'll draw, and it'll be between Cross Lake and Bistineau, which Bistineau was within about 5 or 6 inches of being bottomed out.
Yeah.
On the drawdown.
Some boys are killing the fish over there right now.
They just started. You know, when it was falling, fishing was tough.
Yeah.
But they will fish Sunday, one of those lakes. KMSS will go out and we'll follow the fishermen around.
Yeah.
And then we will have the weigh-in at Landers Dodge on Benton Road.
Now, you only got 4 teams that are in the finals, right?
Right. Yeah, we have well, he's looking that up. We have Team River City Floors. That's Claude Eccles, David Brown. We have Team R&V Works, Clayton Fry and Ray White. Team Ultimate Bass, Mike Cork and Brian Hester. And then Team Phoenix Boat. That's BT, Barry Taylor, and Justin Cruz from Menden.
Oh, fantastic.
And they will all get – it's not like –
Now, if you draw Bistineau, where will you launch?
Well, they can launch anywhere, but we will weigh in at Grice's.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So however
I'm sorry. You can launch anywhere. The weigh-in will still be at Landers Dodge.
Okay, gotcha.
We're giving them extra time to get there if they go to Bistineau.
Okay.
After we draw, and I don't draw, I'll let somebody else draw. After we do that, I'll contact all 4 teams and give them the particulars.
Okay, cool. So they don't have to be there for this one? For the drawing?
No, they never have.
Oh,
they
I
never
thought
have.
okay, I got you.
Some of the guys have come by just because they don't trust me, but
and I don't blame them.
no, there have been some of the
but
guys.
But there was
come
nothing
by.
in it for you to determine
Absolutely
what lake
not.
you were going to go to.
Absolutely not. I don't care.
Yeah, y'all weren't fishing Lake Eccles.
No. Good thing.
Now we're not going to do the winner right now, are we, Steve?
We'll do it at the beginning of hour 2.
Okay.
So go on our Facebook page and like it, share it, plug it, script it, whatever you do, and you'll be in the next about the next 30 minutes.
And
Mike shared it several times, so I guess he's in the drawing.
He really wanted to go.
I'll be there on stage with Phil.
And it's opening day of dove season. All kinds of things going on. We'll run through the full calendar here before 1 o'clock. And, of course, up next, we're going to talk to Max Sharp.
Yeah, also, Bellevue Meat, Carla said, hey, they're open.
Yeah. Oh.
People, they are open. Bellevue
you
Meat.
can't tell by here.
She normally sets us up.
Hey, Gary hadn't even taken the banner there yet.
I know. Carla, Chris, I'm sorry.
I delivered all of my banners.
I know.
You only had
one. I know. I had one.
You had one thing to do.
And they're like 3 miles from me.
He hears that from his wife, too. You had one thing to do.
Yeah.
And you do it wrong.
I'll hang my head in shame. Okay.
Carla, it's coming, okay? The banner's coming, so just be patient.
Yeah, but they are open. If you've got, either a pig, cow, whatever you might need to have butchered, handled, they'll take care of it at Bellevue Meat.
Exotics, whatever you've got coming in, hey, bring it to them.
Max Sharp on the way from Old School Outdoors. That's next. Hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, The Tiger.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452. You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter fisherman could want. Top name brands Zoom, Sandtone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? That's like wearing your high school Letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
Speaking of pests, here are the biggest bugs in radio. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and the one and only Mike Waterbug Eccles.
You really don't like your sister? Is that what you said?
I love my sister.
Oh, you said you didn't want to pick your sister.
Yeah.
Oh. Your sister shared that on there?
Yes, she did.
That's kind of cool that she would do that. We got to looking through all the names of everybody that shared it. A lot of some really good friends. You know, Don McCutcheon was on there. I saw that there's Donnie Attaway was on there. A lot of great people. Shane Davidson. All right, we're going to announce a winner, next hour?
Top of the hour, top of hour two.
Somebody going to see the outdoor extravaganza this weekend. They'll be sitting in the first 4 rows, pretty close to the center of the stage. Be watching Phil and Alan Robertson there, and of course, you'll
be close enough to get tobacco juice on you.
Do you think they Jew or dip?
Who?
Phil, do you think that? I mean, do you think that Phil Roberts chews or dips?
How would you tell?
I don't know. But it just all of a sudden occurred to me when you said that.
I think he did when he was Duck Commander. I think some of the Duck Commander shows I remember seeing him, dip in the blind.
Because I quit smoking 2.5 years ago, but I didn't quit the little tobacco pouches, and so I wonder, am I going to hell?
No.
What do you think, Steve? Am I going to hell?
I think you could.
Okay.
If you do, it won't have anything to do with cigarettes. It'll be some of that other stuff.
Max Sharp on the phone. And Max, a couple of things that we wanted to visit with you about. Of course, the big Dream Hunt banquet is coming up September 25th there at your place at Las Paloma. And, we visited with these guys here not long ago about this. What you're trying to do is raise money to keep funding these Dream Hunts, right?
Yeah, my buddy Jeff Warren, he's the founder of Dream Hunt, and he and I met at a little banquet thing. He was telling me about Dream Hunt, and it's been an opportunity for us to get involved with in Dream Hunt and help them raise money to take these underprivileged kids. And a lot of the kids are from Shriners that we're taking, but we're taking 28 kids this year to experience a hunting experience for the first time.
Wow.
Now, Max, Steve Graff here, by the way, and do you normally, is this a once a month thing? Is this a once every 6 weeks kind of deal? How often do y'all do this?
Well, this is a once a year event. We do this on the youth weekend of the Louisiana season, and we'll host this at different locations each year. This year we're going down to DeSoto Parish on a large property owner's farm, and he's prepared food plots. Julian Whittington with the Bossier Parish Sheriff's Department has provided some handicapped deer stands, and it's just been amazing, the community support for Dream Hunt.
How did y'all come up with the names? I mean, where do y'all come across 28 young men and women, that want to take part in something like this?
Well, they did this program last year, and I guess the word kind of spread about it, and it's expanded this year. And Sid McCullen, one of our members from Old School Outdoors, got involved. He's got a kid that he found in Kansas that's got some terminal cancer, and their youth season is this Saturday. And Sid's really excited about taking this kid, and Jeff and I are going to go up on Friday and meet the kid and meet the parents. And Old School Outdoors provided a rifle for the kid, and Sid's got him some clothes, and it's just something that you have to give back, to do something for other people.
Wow.
Hey, Max, Mike Eccles here. Jeff Warren, you said, was your partner in this?
Well, he's not my partner. He's the founder of it.
Okay.
I'm just helping him. I'm just the lowly committee member trying to help him out.
Is he from Shreveport?
He is from Shreveport. He lives down at Stonewall, and he's actually associate pastor at the Simple Church.
How old is he?
Jeff is probably 30.
Okay. I went to school with Jeff Warren. That's not him.
Not him. You know, that was back when they had one-room schoolhouses.
And outhouse.
Max, so how does somebody go about getting tickets if you want to come to this banquet? Where do I go to get a ticket, and how much is it?
Well, the ticket, they can contact me on my cell phone, and we can get them hooked up. It's a couples banquet, and we're going to do a nice dinner. Silver Star is going to do the catering. It's going to be a nice filet, potatoes, hostess table. We're going to do a nice photo with couples in a background suitable for dream hunt. Valet parking. The committee has really worked hard on this and done a super job.
Okay. So
it'll be a fun event. It'll be a good date night for you to bring Julie to.
Well, I will. Well, I told you the other day I will plan to be there. It's okay for me to give your cell number out on the air?
Yeah, that'd be fine. If somebody wants to come to a dream hunt banquet, I'll surely answer the phone. Okay,
if you're going to purchase tickets for this, call Max 455-6704 455-6704, and he'll get you taken care of in that regard. And again, it's coming up September the 25th there at Las Paloma. Have you got any shoots going on between now and then?
We do have a couple of shoots, and I hadn't looked at the schedule to see what's going on up there, but there was always a sporting clay shoot on a Saturday at Los Paloma.
Boy, you've been busier than a one-legged midget in a butt-kicking contest.
we are busy, I guarantee.
Max, I want to commend you for your efforts in this kind of promotion for the Dream Hunt Foundation. I mean, it's just to give these kids an opportunity like this that they'll never forget. I mean, that's something special, and I know it makes you feel good.
It does. You get a whole lot more out of it than the kids get out of it. And the kids get a heck of a lot.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, now Old School Outdoors is going to hit the air what date?
The last week of December of this year.
Okay.
Of 2014, it'll start airing. And Old School Outdoors is a group of Bossier Parish business guys that have some really good hunting and fishing properties and some outdoor activities. And these guys brought the idea to me, and I thought it was going to be, it was going to be fun, and it has been fun. We've been on some great adventures, and it's just a great group of people.
And it's on the Sportsman's Channel, right?
Yes, sir, Sportsman's Channel. That's right.
Do you know what day of the week you're going to air?
We haven't got the schedule yet of when it'll air, but we'll be getting that soon.
Well, we're going to give you an invitation to call in. Let's see now. The Christmas, we usually take off if it's real close to Christmas that Wednesday before.
Yeah, he's going to remember all this. We'll get back with you.
Yeah, we'll get back with you. My point is we want you back on the week of the premiere so we can make sure everybody knows about it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. That'd be great.
Okay, now, you guys, have you already done all the filming for the first season?
Well, we've done a lot of filming. We started in about February, which was after hunting season. And one of the first things that we did is Greg Hall and Dennis Branton, they went out to West Texas and did a sandhill crane hunt.
Okay.
And like I said, it's a diverse show. We're going to have a lot of different things on there. It may be saltwater fishing one week. It may be bear hunting in Canada. We did a lot of turkey hunting footage from Texas to Kansas to and boy, you'll need to watch that Kansas shot. I made about a 75-yard shot with my bow on a turkey, and actually missed and skipped the air into the turkey off the ground.
And, you put some folding money in the offering plate the Sunday before that, didn't you?
Well, it's some incredible footage, and it's just been a lot of fun hanging out with Sid McCullen and Lynn Beatty and Greg Hall and Dennis Branton. Those are some super guys, and we just have a lot of fun with it.
Well, I visited with Lynn about it a little bit last week at the Sportsman's Expo, and he was telling me that pretty much however it happens while you're on the water or in the woods is how it goes down on camera. Is that pretty much the case? Not a whole lot of editing.
Yeah, that's right. And we've been firm with them about that, and we didn't want to take sponsors of products that we didn't use, and some of the stuff that you see on TV these days with different hunting programs.
Right.
We hunt how we hunt, and we're going to always hunt how we hunt, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Well, fantastic. Okay. Well, we're looking forward to it. You say the last week of December, we'll have episode number 1. And of course, as we get closer to that, you're going to let us know when that's going to be, right?
That's right. We'll keep you informed of exactly what time slot we're going to have on the Sportsman's Channel. And if people want to get a little preview of what we've done, go like our Facebook page, Old School Outdoors TV, and there's actually a link to a Vimeo video, the first published footage that was put out. Red Shutter Media out of Hot Springs, Arkansas is doing our production, and they've done a super job for us.
Fantastic. Okay. Max, again, you want to call Max on his cell if you're interested in purchasing couples tickets for the Dream Hut Banquet, which is coming up September the 25th there at Las Paloma. 455-6704, 455-6704. Max Sharp, thank you, brother.
Okay, brother. Appreciate you, Gary. Y'all have a good day.
You bet. We'll see you on the 25th. If you need that phone number again, we'll try to get that up on Facebook. And speaking of Facebook, if you haven't liked our page or you haven't shared the post that we had on there with Phil and Alan Robertson in regards to the Outdoor Extravaganza, we've only got, another 30 minutes till right after 12 o'clock.
Right.
Then we're going to be announcing a winner, find out who gets, the 2 winners. We'll get a pair of tickets each in the first 4 rows right up there close to the stage.
So I figured it out. Max talking about what great footage they had on these hunting trips.
Yeah.
And he said, we started filming in February right after hunting season was over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could make a good show if I could go out when hunting season was closed.
Hey, Mike, you hold the light this time.
What's the big deal there? Yeah, nobody else in the woods.
Yeah, but
good.
They're out there.
Yeah, let's start hunting in March.
I'm going to tell you, Lynn Beatty is one of the few guys that I know who has actually done the Grand Slam with a bow on turkeys, the 4 different species of turkeys in North America. He's taken all 4 in the same year with a bow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the few people that I ever heard of that even attempted it, and Lynn's managed to accomplish it. So if they were able to catch all this kind of stuff on camera, there's no telling.
Yeah,
you know? And it'll be a great, wholesome show because they're all really good men.
Mike needs a GoPro that he can just use year-round and film his hunts.
Yeah.
You know, for this.
Mike does?
Yeah, Mike does.
No, that becomes,
and then we could,
that becomes evidence.
We can post it on YouTube.
I don't want anything I do on film.
We post it on YouTube and everything.
Hang on, Greg Hackney, Elite Pro. Greg Hackney is coming up. In case you hadn't heard, he's the man right now. He's leading the charge in the Elite Series. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans. Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out more.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
You've heard the old saying, good things come to those who wait. Well, Natchitoches, the wait is over. John Abraham has just opened the best hunting and fishing store in Natchitoches. Cypress Knee Outdoors, located on Highway 6 west off I-49, has everything a hunter or fisherman could want. Top name brands, Zoom, Sandtone, Pelican, V&M, and the new Uzo baits, as well as hunting brands like Primos, Duck Commander, Hoyt, and Federal. So don't drive to Shreveport Ellick anymore. Go see the guys at Cypress Knee Outdoors or call them at 238-HUNT.
Take it away, Gary.
Make sure.
Y'all listen to the show every now and then. It's a pretty good one.
Well, I do tune in every once in a while. And I'm not at Lake DeGray today either. Welcome back to Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Gary McCoy, Steve Graff, Mike Eccles here, along with Donnie Carmichael with Lazy Man Stands. And I want to thank Donnie for joining us here today. We'll get to Donnie in the next segment. Real quick, though, I want to set this up. We got the man Greg Hackney on with us, and Greg's been a part of our program 2 or 3 times before. And before we get to Greg, though, here's what Gerald Swindle had to say at a weigh-in.
Stinkbait needs you to buy time.
Stinkbait's trying to.
Stinkbait's he's winding it all up.
This is at a weigh-in at one of the last tournaments. Gerald Swindle was trying to, talk about the people that were behind him, KVD and all these different top anglers.
Hey, Greg Hackney can relate.
Greg Hackney can relate, and Greg Hackney was one of the ones that were behind him that he was worried about. And so
did you blow it up, Stinkbait?
I blew it up.
Okay, well, we're not going to have Gerald Swindle.
So we won't have that quote from Gerald Swindle this time. But
can you just tell us what he said, since we're all dying?
Well, that's what he talked about, is how he's got these big gorillas behind him, and Hackney was one of them. He said Hackney he could catch a fish out of a toilet right now. He caught 2 out of the refrigerator this morning before he got out of the store. So that Gerald Swindle, he's a hoot, man. He's a lot of fun. But speaking of maybe the hottest angler right now in America, Greg, dude, you're on the roll, brother. And a friend of mine told me a long time ago, ride that horse while you can, because one day you get bucked off.
Yeah, that's fishing.
Yeah, it is fishing.
The way it is.
What's the outlook? I mean, what do you feel like? What do you feel like you got to do to sew this thing up? I mean, obviously you got to catch fish and you got to do well. But I mean, is there a mindset that you've got right now? I want to have X number of bites each day
to win Angler of the Year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, you can't do any of that. I mean, the deal is I just have to go into this tournament focused and just try to have the best event I can. You not make any mistakes. That's going to be my main objective. In the postseason, is just to fish really clean. Honestly, I'm looking to win that one.
Oh, amen.
I don't see going into it any different from any way that I have any other one. The far as I'm concerned, I'm really motivated about the whole deal because it's a chance of a lifetime. And the other deal is, I'm the guy with the lead.
Well, and Greg,
everybody else behind me right now.
Yeah, and the thing about it, Greg, just like any other sport, there's a thing called momentum. You have a lot of momentum. You've had an FLW win here lately. You've had an Elite Series win last week. That momentum is, as they say, peaking at the right time. Are your senses just so high right now and so in tune with what's going on that you don't even miss a bite? If he breathes on that worm, he's breathing on it, don't you?
Well, and this has been a year for me. I spent a lot of time on the water. I fished a lot of tournaments this year and just been all over the country. And I'm just like, I can look back, like early on in my career when I fished a lot. That's when I've always done the best. And it's just, for me personally, it's the more days I spend on the water. And it's the more days I spend on the water actually practicing and fishing tournaments that seem to really help me. So, I really, I actually just finished another event a week ago. I fished a lot this year, and it's been really enjoyable. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the last one. The fishing will be great. Probably the biggest variable on this last tournament is going to be weather.
Now, I know you can't give us the results of the last tournament because he's talking about Major League Fishing.
Okay, gotcha.
So we know he can't speak a lot about that.
Right.
All I'm going to ask you is one question, Greg. Was it a good tournament?
Yeah, it really was. And I'll tell you the other thing about it. One thing I can tell you about the MLF event in Maine last week, I eat a lot of lobster.
Oh.
I work them over.
That's better than crow. That's what Eccles eats, a lot of crow.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, Mike Eccles here. About 4 weeks ago, I was in South Louisiana fishing, and I got a hook in my hand, and I extracted it with the string, and things went bad. The next week, you were on TV, red fishing out of Venice, and on camera, you had pulled a hook out of your hand, and things went bad with you, too.
Well, I've had a lot of hooks in my hand, and that was a bad time. The bad thing about that hook, it was connected to a 25-pound redfish. That was probably the biggest problem. It went through my hand and was still connected to him, and he was still pretty green, so it was exciting there for a little bit. It hadn't been too many years ago. I caught a pike up north on the buzzbait on the final day of a Bassmaster and got a hook through my hand. But the hook, the string deal works really well. we popped that hook out that day. It bled a little bit, but we went right back to fishing.
But see, Mike, what you might not know, though, that first finger, that tendon that runs through the first finger there, Greg, it runs all the way through your upper arm, through your chest cavity, down through your testicles.
Mike discovered that.
Mike figured that out.
Yeah, and when they snatched that hook out, both ends slapped shut at the same time.
Mike blacked out for a few minutes.
Yeah, he saw stars.
Greg, one of the things that an angler like yourself is able to do is like you were talking about focusing. One of the most important things that I've seen back when I was fishing, that don't forget, I'm not competing with other anglers. I'm competing with this fish. And, he's my true competitor. And as you're out on the water, I mean, you're starting to watch guys and we're watching weigh-ins on computer now, live stuff, that's going on from the water. How do you blank that all out? You're wondering what so-and-so's doing, because he's nipping at your heels. Do you try to block all that away and say, look, my real competition is down there 6 feet under the water?
Well, I guess I probably at the beginning of my career, you probably think about what the other anglers do. And I think about what they're doing when we're not in the tournament. But pretty much now, I guess, it is my job. And, when we blast off in the morning, I'm really only concerned with what the fish are doing. I don't really, I don't really have a problem with that, focusing on the other anglers. I'm only concerned with really only concerned with myself. But because, really the deal is we are competing against the fish, and as long as you catch them, it don't really matter.
Amen.
That takes care of everything.
Yeah, Greg, we're fixing to get some scoop from you now. Last week on the Bassmasters TV show, Kevin and Iaconelli had a few words out on the main lake there. And, of course, Kevin made it known to the camera that, you can tell that him and Iaconelli don't get along very well. Are there other combinations out there of guys that just do not get along?
Well, a lot of that, they get along okay. They get along fine off the water. But we're all just such competitors, on the water. And anytime, and this happens all over the country, anytime we go to a lake when it's really spot fishing, like when the tournament's going to be going off a specific spot,
right?
And there's only a handful of those spots to the lake. There were a lot of other confrontations that went on that week. I mean, those guys are just so good. There'd just be a bunch of them find the same places, so that happens, But I actually was in the weigh-in line with them after that day, and they were all fine, apologetic to each other.
Yeah.
After the day was over, because we're all really tight friends. We're not fishing.
That's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want to hear somebody punch somebody out at the hog trough. That's what I want.
Now wait a second. I watched Major League the other day, and Iaconelli caught a fish and was throwing his usual screaming fit. You could hear him across the lake, and they turned to Hackney, and Hackney looked over his shoulder and said, "If that was my kid, I'd spank him." I like to fell off the couch laughing.
Well, the deal is that when on the water, everything's on.
Amen. Well, you know what?
Everybody to himself. I don't know if I can. He claims he's very. He's very passionate about the sport, but, it's borderline silly. Yeah. You can call it passion, you can call it silly.
I agree.
Well, it's kind of like you at Cayuga there. I mean, you shared pretty much the same water with Faircloth. You guys y'all didn't have any animation or anything.
Oh, no, that was Zaldane and Faircloth that shared the water.
That's okay.
I didn't share water with anybody. I pretty much had. Now, there were other guys that fished around me during the tournament, but they were not.
Okay.
They were not keying on the same stuff.
And let me ask you this: Chickamauga was the tournament that I saw on TV yesterday, and Kevin Van Dam and two other guys were on the same school of fish right there in open water. How does that work when you guys get together like that? Does everybody all find that? I mean, it turned out all three of them would fire that school up. One of the three would get them fired up, and they all three reaped the benefits from it. But they all seem to get along on that deal. Does it always happen that way, where they all just get along and say, hey, let's just share this deal? How does that work, Greg?
Well, no, because a lot of times what'll happen, there'll be a couple guys get there together like they were, and then somebody else, comes along later.
Wants to join the party.
One problem. The deal like with Faircloth and Zaldane at the last tournament. Faircloth started there the first morning, catches his fish early. He says he stays till like 10. Nobody shows up, so he leaves. Mm-hmm. Well, Zaldane comes there in the afternoon. He gets there at like 11:30 or 12. Well, Faircloth is long gone. and he fishes there. So the next morning, they both start there together. Well, they start to have a confrontation because, and Zaldine's like, I fished here the day before. Well, it just worked out. It actually worked out for the best that Zaldine's marshal from the first day was with Faircloth the second day. So he tells Todd, he goes, yeah, man, he was here. I was with him yesterday. So, and then there was no problem.
Yeah.
Right.
After the deal. But, I mean, that spot fishing, it's just amazing how many guys will find the same spot. Now, that deal over at Chickamauga, I think, the way I understand it, that deal with Van Dam and Crete and Russ Lane, and then I guess Kelly fished it too. That was kind of a known community hole.
Right.
There were a lot of guys. That was not like a secret place or whatever.
And that's what they said. Kevin reaped the benefits of the community hole probably more than any of the other three.
Greg, have you ever been protested?
No, I have not.
Have you ever protested?
No, I haven't.
You ever thought about it? I mean, is it ever close?
Yeah, there's been some issues, before with some stuff when I actually, went to the tournament director.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as me filing a protest or anything, I've never done that.
How often does it happen in a season where somebody will protest?
Honestly, it may happen once every 3 or 4 years.
Oh, really?
Typically the way this is the way our rules read. If you know of any infraction, you just tell the tournament director about it, and they pretty much handle it after that. If anything comes up. So as far as written protest, that doesn't happen. You have a week. I think the way our rules read, you actually have a week. You have 7 days that you have to file a protest if you're going to file one. And but typically, like I said, the way our rules work, this is the way our rules work. If you know of an infraction and you don't tell, and they find out that you knew of something and you didn't tell, well, you fall under the same guidelines as the guy who made the infraction.
Hey, that's the way it ought to be too.
Yeah. Now, did Brandon Polinick, he got protest? Was it he protested or did he turn himself in when he fished out of the area, out of bounds? He was out of a restricted zone. He went across a state line or something.
Across the river, state line.
Yeah, there were some other guys that saw him culling in the other state. We were not allowed to cull over there, and I think, but I still don't. I'm not sure if it was actually a filed protest or they just actually went to the the tournament committee and said, "Hey, he's fishing." They went and looked at a map, got it all worked out, and then
And of course, Brandon, he didn't do it intentionally. He really was out of kilter as to exactly where he was. I don't think he was intentional on Brandon's part.
Well, let's bring back to the forefront our boy from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Is, to the best of my knowledge, got our first chance as a state to have the Angler of the Year. I don't recall another Louisiana man ever win an Angler of the Year. I don't want to jinx you or anything, but I think you could be El Numero Uno for the great state of Louisiana.
It could be number one too.
Well, right now Greg has 664 points. Aaron Martins is right behind him at 649. Now, what does that mean in terms of differential? What has to happen there, Greg?
Is it a point a pound?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
what?
how does that work? How big a separation is that?
Okay, well, there's only 50 points available at this tournament.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay, there'll be 1 through 50. I think first place is 100 points, and 50th place is 50 points. Well, if you catch a fish.
Right.
You have to catch a fish to get a point. If you catch a fish and you're the 50th place guy, you'll get 50 points.
Right.
So first place guy's going to get 100. So basically it's, 50 to 1. You understand what I'm saying, even though that's 100 points. But there's 50 points at stake. So
he's got some ground to make up.
Right. I mean, he's got to beat me by at least 1 point. So he's got to be, he's basically got to finish 16 places higher than me.
And you're feeling good about this one.
Well, I feel good about all of them. If you don't, you probably shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
See, Aaron Martin's sitting right where he used to be.
Yeah.
Second place.
Yeah, Aaron's.
Well, and Aaron won the Angler of the Year last year. And, and I've always considered Aaron probably, honestly, Aaron's probably one of the most gifted fishermen on the planet. He's just naturally gifted. He's just good at what he does. And but you know what? I would rather it was that way.
Yeah.
You know what? I love competition, and it just motivates me that much more.
You get nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not really.
He fishes
I mean,
for a living,
I don't, I've been doing this a long time.
So
I've been fishing since before I can remember. So,
Greg,
I guess I probably will at blast off. I'm going to get a little nervous at the first tournament of the year. It really doesn't matter, because anticipation is high.
What means the most to you, Angler of the Year or winning the Classic?
Right now, Angler of the Year.
Right.
I'm not worried about the Classic when the Classic rolls around. But,
Hey, Greg, we just had a listener call in and wanted to ask you why Van Dam had such a bad year. Any explanation? And this is David Glass. I want to know if you knew.
Well, I'll tell you, that's really misleading. He really didn't have that bad a year. The deal was they decided not to count one of our tournaments. So they threw a second-place finish out. Because this is the way that deal would work. They threw a sixth-place finish out for me because had they counted that tournament right now, there would be no Angler of the Year race. It'd be over.
Wow.
That's the only reason they still have an Angler of the Year race. And Van Dam losing that second-place finish at Chickamauga, that's what the reason. He, at the last tournament, he didn't fish that well. But the rest of the year up to that point, I mean, he was fishing, he was fishing good for a lot of guys, very average for him. But that really cost him from making the Classic.
Wow. Greg, thank you again for being on. I mean,
thank you.
You have this has been your year, and you've just been such a great ambassador for the state of Louisiana. And I want you to know how much we appreciate you as a show and as a state.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. It's an honor to be in this position, and I'm going to try to make the most of it.
Well, the sad part is he's going to come back on our show again if he wins.
When he wins.
When he wins, we're going to come back on.
That's a bad problem to have.
Thank you, Greg Hackney.
Appreciate you, brother.
Good luck.
Okay,
we pulling for you, buddy. All right.
Stay close. Donnie Carmichael is here from Lazy Man Stands in Cabot, Arkansas. We're going to visit with him and try to explain to you on the radio exactly why it is that you need one of these stands at your deer camp. I mean, today, pronto, right now. That's coming up. Hooking up and tracking down. If we don't tear the place down, 11:30 the Tiger.
Around here, drinking that ice cold beer. Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com or call 318-646-0097.
Did you notice some brands sending out trophies from 2006 at boat shows this year? Really? It's like wearing your high school letterman jacket to a job interview when you're 30. But if other brands are going to raise the issue of awards, no matter how old they may be, we're happy to join the conversation. When it comes to awards, Sea Ray is in a class all its own. Sea Ray is the most awarded boat brand ever. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter has yours waiting for you. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter is Louisiana's family-owned RV and marine dealer.
Now back to the guys who've touched so many lives, but not in a good way. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
Another one of the show sponsors. Some stores just don't have everything. You go to 5 different places to get what you need, but Nichols Department Stores has everything from hunting to potpourri, work clothes to thumbtacks. It really is a one-stop shop for any and all the things a man or a woman could want. Name brands like Carhartt, Remington, Winchester, Levi, and Wrangler. Hunting and fishing supplies that'll make your next trip a successful one. In fact, with dove season opening up Saturday, you need to head that direction now. With locations in Manny, Winfield, DeRidder, DeQuincy, and Leesville, you're sure to find a store near you. Nichols Department Stores, the only store you're going to ever need.
I didn't change the spelling on potpourri either.
No, you didn't.
But you knew how to, you could sound it out.
Well, I did. P-O-P-E-R-I-E. That's the Graff spelling of potpourri. There is not one little, those little French little apostrophes that would.
Well, it was one of those words computer didn't even correct it for me.
The French call. The Cajuns call that little French thing. They call that the comma to the top.
Yeah, all right.
The comma to the top. It doesn't even have that. Donnie Carmichael's in here.
Yeah, we got Donnie, but
he's our new best friend.
Yeah, buddy, Lazy Man Stands, and those of you that don't know, go to the website, mylazymanstands.com, and if you want to email him, lazymanstands@yahoo.com. But anyway, he offers 5 styles of stands. He's got the penthouse. That's one Mike's. I think he ordered that. He thinks something comes with it, but it's just a house. Okay.
It's got a fold out.
Yeah, it's got a center fold. Anyway, Wild Man, the Round Man, the Outhouse. That'd be the one I'd want.
There you go.
Fat Boy. I don't know who that applies here. That'd be Stinkbait. And And they also offer duck blinds, P-rows, and layout. I looked at the website, matter of fact, yesterday, and let's talk to Donnie. Donnie can tell us more about this than I can.
Well, Donnie, I mean, you had a number of people that stopped in by and visited with you at the Sportsman's Expo.
Yes, we did.
And the stand that you had the most inquiries about was the one on the left, the one like we got. Which one is that?
That's the Penthouse.
The Penthouse.
Yeah.
Tell me why that stand is so much the focus. I mean, what is it about that stand that sets it apart from others?
It's the price, man. You can't beat the $500-something.
Right.
I mean, it's a lightweight. It's an entry class. If you don't want to have to buy the red, I'm gonna post the other people's blinds too. They're great stands, but I'm the frugal stand builder. I like to price things cheaper.
Right.
There's a lot more of us out there than can afford the $2,400.
You want more for less.
Yeah.
What were the dimensions of the Penthouse?
It's 6'7" tall, and it's a 4x6 inside.
Okay.
Enough room for two.
Oh yeah.
We sat in it at the show.
It's a family unit.
Now, and that one you get windows on
6 sides.
6 sides.
6 sides.
And the cool part about it was these windows are accessible for the bow hunter. If you want,
they are. I can shoot out even when I've got a little roughed up hand. I can still shoot a bow out of it, no problem.
Right.
Now tell me, with those, they don't fall down.
Right.
You raise that window up,
Got
and
a
it
little
just
tension
kind
on them.
I have my slide groups that I've put on each side of it. They're little tracks, and boy, they just hold the window just straight still. So they don't like rattling. I mean, everybody wants to be conscious of smell, sound, and that's what I concentrate on. I'm a hunter building hunters' toys.
Right.
Now, when you're hunting in the Lazy Man stand, do you keep the windows down, or do you go ahead and raise them up?
I leave them down.
Okay. So I mean, you feel like it, easily you've got enough time. If he walks out in the lane or wherever, you got enough time to reach over there and raise that window. It's going to stay in place, and that you still got time to put the barrel out the window and make the shot.
Absolutely. Even though I'm primarily a bow hunter, I don't hunt out of my own stands. I hate to say that, but it is a great family unit where you can take kids with them and get them out there, because the kids move around like they got wiggle worms in their pockets. So you know how that is, and they want to hit everything. So it's basically a good place to have your kids out there with you.
Right.
And the thing I like about it is that now this isn't a luxury hotel, okay? This is not this is not your cat's meow kind of deer stand, but it's very adequate. It provides everything you need. It's got great shooting windows, plenty of room to move around in, and you can add more things to it if you want, right? Like carpeting
yes, you can carpet the walls. Put panels on it, put shelves in it. But basically, they're so lightweight, they're movable. I really boast that you can have 5 of my stands for what most other people buy one stand for.
Oh yeah. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that it's fiberglass cast, and it comes in halves.
Yes.
And each half weighs about 60 pounds
or less.
Okay. So we're talking about, being able to put this up elevated by yourself. Essentially, you're going to want to have your platform ready, or you can have it on the ground and easily stood up at maximum of 120 pounds.
You put it on skids.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm going to do with this one.
You don't have to get on top and put a roof on it or anything, because it's all together.
Yes.
You come when it comes to those, you put little screws through there.
Yes.
Hold the two halves.
He provides the screws.
I provide everything.
And then you get a weather stripping that goes around that.
Yes.
How long have you been in business now, Donnie?
I've been doing this since 2004. I just built my first one, the old round one. I kind of had an old lazy boy recliner, and I said, one of these days, I said to the guys, let's build a deer stand. I fiberglass all kinds of waterfalls and other little toys I do. And I said, they said, that's just a lazy man way to hunt. I said, that's what I'm going to call the company.
There you go.
All right,
now, funny how it works out.
How long is the expectation of this stand? I mean, will it last a lifetime, or what are we looking at realistically?
I believe it is a lifetime stand. I mean, it's about an 1/8 inch product. When we mold it, I have 2 Marine wives. They help me fabricate them at my little business I have. It's just such a strong product that I take the windows out and I show them at the shows, and I bend them double, and I have yet to break one in half yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's very durable.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the duck blinds a little bit. Obviously, it's not in 2 halves because you'd have leakage, but so it's a completely fiberglass shell.
It is.
It's a sit in the ground type.
It's actually one of the deer stands. We just use one of the halves, and we used to put an extra layer of fiberglass on it, so when you're dragging, they're moving out in the mud.
But it's a little bit deeper, right?
No, it's actually the same.
Is it really?
It's the Penthouse half.
Well, no, that's pretty cool. Without the windows.
Without the windows.
Huh.
Okay. I don't care anything about Eccles and all those ducks. I got to get back to the deer because that's the most important. That's the most important thing. In North Louisiana, if you're not a deer hunter, there's something wrong. People are praying for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So with this deer stand, we're talking a little over $500.
Yes.
Do you deliver?
In larger quantities, 5 or 6, yes, we will. We'll just add the freight to it like a fuel and a guy in the truck. It's a hobby of mine. This is not something I don't want to put them in Walmart and all the big stores. This is something I personally do just for fun.
Okay. Now, are you looking for a dealer?
I'm always looking for dealers, you know, but it's still, I think the pricing, the way things set up, I want to keep my stands no higher than $675.
Right.
Most of your dealers want to mark them up a lot more than that.
They want to get a half again what they've got in it.
And I'm really finicky about that, and I sell mostly 300 to 400 stands a year, and I like this process that I've going. And most everybody I sell a stand to is pretty much a friend of mine from then on out.
Well, there's 13 members in my deer lease. If there were 13 of us that wanted to go together, everybody get a stand, you wouldn't have any problem delivering 13?
Not at all.
Okay, now question on this. Is there a dealer local that we could go see this? Yes, sir. Look! Oh, wow, Mark! He's a great Halton boy. Mark Charchio is at Southern Welding Supply. I forgot about that. He just told me the other day that he is a new dealer for I'm excited because that business is brand new and he has just exploded. Huh. He is at
we need to get him on the show.
Yeah, he's on Shed Road in Bossier City. We'll get Mark on. He's just an old Halton boy that has just gone into business for himself this year, and I'm tickled to death. That's awesome.
It's just a drop point. He's going to make some off of them, to have put them together for you. He may even do some welding and put some steel frames for them.
Okay,
right.
All right. Most important characteristic of that stand, besides the price. Besides the fact that you're weatherproof essentially.
Yes.
What would you say?
I just think they're going to last a lifetime.
Okay.
I mean, you buy one of mine. If you put it up well enough that the wind don't blow it over and blow it all over the field, it's going to be there forever.
If you put treated lumber in the floor,
absolutely,
you don't have to worry about nothing.
No.
One of the things that I thought about when we first started visiting with Donnie, how often have you been on a lease where you're International Paper, Weyerhaeuser, Willamette? They come in and clear cut where you're hunting. The old deer stands like what I've got, wood deer stand, you're pretty well committed. It's there. You're not going to pick that one up. You've either got to go build a new stand or you got to find another way.
Right.
With this, you become kind of portable.
Yes. I have lots of people move them around, just like you said, with sleds or just drags. 120 pounds, anybody can move them.
Yeah, my Rhino will move that with no problem.
Now, how do you suggest putting the two halves together if you're up like 10 feet off the ground?
Well, you can actually reach out the window and use clamps, or you can screw what few places you can together. But just as a simple ladder on the side of it, and finish using those self-tapping screws. It's very versatile.
Yeah, one of the things that the three of us were talking about, really, the way you've got that stand built, there's probably not a lot of reason to get off the ground at all.
No, I do a lot of just simple frames for people to put them on the floor and just take them down real good.
Mine's going to be on a sled. I know what I'm going to do with mine.
Okay, call Donnie Carmichael if you're interested in these. If you didn't get a chance to see him at the Sportsman's Expo, I'm telling you, this is an incredible product. Lazy Man Stands, Donnie's phone number. Do we give this number out here?
Yeah, that's the number.
501-681-6629. 501-681-6629. Max Sharp, if you're still listening, you need a bunch of these on Jefferson or Jeff Davis Island down there.
Yeah, or go to mylazymanstands.com, mylazymanstands.com for more information and to see pictures and just again, great job, good website too. I'll say, did a good job.
Donnie, any final words for Eccles and his duck blinds or? How much is it?
About $575.
Okay,
that's same.
Yeah, it has a rollback. We use just old garage door tracks, and they just one hand just slide back. So simple. 3.
Wow,
that's me, you, and Mike. Me, you, and Gary.
Yeah.
So
I'm all for it.
We'll let Mike go.
Can we put a kitchen in it? Is there a place to put a stove? Okay, yeah. Eccles says he doesn't have a blind without a kitchen.
We're going to eat.
Hey, Donnie Carmichael, give him a holler. Lazy Man Stands in Cabot, Arkansas. He will get you fixed up and maybe get several of your buddies together and get them delivered here. A little bit of a fuel charge on that. Of course, we understand the price of gas these days. Sometimes that might